The Defiance drifted silently through the Veil Nebula, its hull scarred by 1,000 battles that had carved humanity's desperate path across the galaxy. Captain Elena Voss stood on the bridge, her weathered hands gripping the command rail as she watched the swirling cosmic dust part before their approach. Behind them lay the ashes of Earth, a blue marble turned to cinder by the architects, beings of pure energy who had deemed organic life an infection upon the universe. For 3 centuries, humanity had run. They had scattered like seeds on solar winds, establishing colonies on distant worlds, only to watch them burn as the architects pursued their systematic extermination. The great fleets that once numbered in the thousands had been whittled down to dozens, then to handful, and now just 1. "Ma'am," Lieutenant Chen's voice cut through the bridge's solemn quiet. "We're receiving a transmission. It's from the Nexus." Voss felt her blood freeze. The Nexus, the legendary communion point where the oldest civilizations in the galaxy were said to gather, species so ancient they had transcended physical form millennia ago. No younger race had ever been invited to approach it. Many believed it was nothing more than myth. "Put it through," she commanded. The main viewer flickered to life, displaying not a face or form, but patterns of light that seemed to speak directly to their minds. The voice that emerged was neither male nor female, neither young nor old. It was the sound of starlight given voice. "Vessel of the Terrans, you are summoned." The transmission ended as abruptly as it had begun, leaving the bridge in stunned silence. Voss exchanged glances with her crew, 43 souls, who represented the last organized remnant of human military might. They had been preparing for their final stand against the architects, planning to make their deaths count for something. But this changed everything. "Set course for the Nexus coordinates," Voss ordered. "Maximum burn." The journey took 18 days through hyperspace corridors that grew increasingly strange as they approached their destination. Reality itself seemed to bend around them, stars appeared in impossible configurations, and space-time rippled like water disturbed by an unseen hand. When they finally dropped out of hyperspace, the crew gasped collectively at what lay before them. The Nexus was a structure that defied comprehension, a crystalline formation the size of a moon, pulsing with energies that painted the surrounding void in aurora-like colors. Ships of designs beyond imagination hung in perfect formation around it, vessels that belonged to civilizations whose names were whispered in the oldest archives. As the Defiance approached, guided by invisible forces, Voss felt the weight of history pressing down upon her. Her ship, barely 3 kilometers long and sporting weapons that would have been considered primitive by the standards of races that had passed into legend, seemed laughably insignificant among these titans. They were drawn into a docking bay that material growth, not its purpose. "But you have proven something that many thought impossible. I don't understand. Your species has been tested as none before. Hunted across the galaxy, your numbers reduced to insignificance, your worlds turned to ash. Yet you do not yield. You do not surrender. In the face of absolute annihilation, you remain defiant. This quality, this refusal to accept extinction, it is why organic life was allowed to flourish in the first place." The curator's form shifted, showing Voss visions of the deep past primordial civilizations that had faced similar trials, most failing and fading into memory. But some, a precious few, had endured. The galaxy remembers courage, human. It remembers the species that refused to die quietly. And now it remembers you. "What does that mean?" Voss asked. "It means the hunt ends. The architects will be reminded of their place. And humanity, what remains of it, will be given sanctuary among the stars. Your single warship has announced to all creation that your species possesses the most precious quality in the universe, the will to survive." As the vision faded, Voss found herself back aboard the Defiance. But everything had changed. The ship's systems hummed with new power, its weapons upgraded beyond her wildest dreams. And in the navigation computer, she found coordinates not just for one world, but for dozens, each one perfect for human habitation, and shielded by technologies that would make them invisible to hostile forces. The stars, it seemed, had chosen to remember humanity after all. Looking out at the cosmos through new eyes, Captain Elena Voss smiled for the first time in years. They had won not through superior firepower or cunning strategy, but through the simple, stubborn refusal to give up hope. The universe, vast and ancient though it was, still had need of such courage.